Okay, the last part for scrying. Now, as in lucid dreaming, you remember, I always using this exercise and this thing for spirituality. I'm not concerned about the beautiness and the shapes of your visions that you will have, and remarkably it will be like that. It will be wonderful. Your life will be much different. You will see the meaning of your life would be different because you are meeting a different self in a different worlds, in a different outcomes, and which is not good at all. You never need to let outer experience change you in a way so you will change your priorities, which in fact in the beginning is impossible. To be honest, there is no way that when you finally get out of your body will go to your work and suffer your boss's insults and everything. Of course not. But you need to be clever, that you need to be clever in both worlds. In the world of lucid dreaming, but in the world of this reality. Letting that boss to suffer you because you need a lesson. So yes, you can stop it, but you need realizing in which way you need to stop it. Quitting your job and going to Kathmandu with me to exercise something, it's not answer. It is a question. It is a question of how much you can stand of that life. And easily suddenly you will be awakened from reality that you waste whole your life expecting for spirituality to overcome your own material problems, which I don't want you to mix. Your life, it's your life. It's a combination of external and internal influences, which is all ending on you. You are the same actor and the main actor of your own movie. Depending of how that movie will end, will be tragic, comedic, horror movie, action movie, porno movie, it's upon you. But don't think that all these wonderful things we speak about, this is the 4 week, I don't know, 3rd, 4th week, will give you anything different than you already have. Yes, you can change reality, you can have a benefit in a way you never will be able to get in other way. I have that. I did it. Will I become a better person? No. I'm the same one. I'm trying to be same one. If I want to be more truthful, I am maybe a little bit worse than I was. With so much power and ability, there is no way you can use it only for your benefit. When you have a cheat on some game, you will use that game against things, against you, against the people. In the beginning we are all saints, but there are no saints here in heaven. And you will become more and more manipulative once you learn how easy is to divide man from his pet. The same strategy your reactive mind divide yourself all these years, all this countless number of lives you already have without knowing the one you already have. Don't expect that you will, in lucid dreaming or scrying or astral projection, find the part of universe where you will be happy. There is no such part of universe. That part of universe you need to create. You cannot travel to that place because that place don't exist. You need to construct it. Like when I talk to you that you need to construct your inner temple from your old fantasy, childhood fantasy. All spiritual enlightenment comes from the fact that you are born person with your failures, with your success, with everything that you make you living entity. Don't think that your capability and ability will affect on chance to reach the most simple things in this universe, which we just called enlightenment, but is in fact totally different things that we expect it to be. Expectation for enlightenment is contradictory because you cannot expect someone who is already there. Now, if I want to tell you that I will wait you in the noon at my house, and if you go to my house waiting me eternally, then you will say, Dushan, but you're lating. But I am at my house. You need to come up to him, to my place, not to be before corridor waiting to me. I am already at my house. I don't need to go to that. You need to ring a bell and I will open. And this is the same as for enlightenment. There is no action that will give you some such experience, what we are calling enlightenment. There is no method. There is no asana, pranayama cycle, astral projection, vibration of entity, rituals of invocation and evocation, hours of tantric play with your lover, using the energy, chakra, kundalini building, name it whatever you want. You will be always in the same distance toward your enlightenment. If you start to count from now point until the eternity of time, no matter how much you count numbers, you will never reach infiniteness. There is always one number more, and one number more. No matter how much you think that billions of billions are bigger number than one, they are both infinitely distant from infinity. Don't think that hours and hours and hours of working will mean that you will be closer to the infinite state of enlightenment. Quite the contrary, you will be more distant. And you need to realize in one way that you need to get a breakthrough from quantity repetition. Now, everything that I talk with you, yes, it is instructions. They are a part of pragmatic methods which you can repeat, when you can write about, when you can research. But you will forget all this. Only 10% of you will continue to do this, and only 1% of that 10% will continue with this path. We are all using this as our excuse not to do the great work itself. Now, what is your great work? I could not even imagine. This is your part. And yes, you can use all these things not to achieve the great work, but to question yourself more what is not your great work, so you can turn the head in some other way, observing the path which you didn't notice earlier. Sometimes knowing what you don't need, it's more important than the knowledge of what you indeed need. The path of spirituality, it's always contradictory. And contradictor is the name that you see that I'm using most often. Not because I like it. I hate it because my whole life it's a slavery of that happening. That everything that I thought is nothing that is real. And everything that is unreal was everything that I need to be thoughtful about. But it is very hard to think about something which you don't need to exist. When I ask you to imagine some color, you will imagine color that you know that it exists. But if I ask you, draw me a color which don't exist, you will not know how to do that. You need a classification of ideas which already exist in your mind. Now, if I say enlightenment, what idea is in your head? Because do you know somebody who enlightened themselves in your life? For real, of course not. I don't know. I am not enlightened. I never meet anybody who know what even in slightest way enlightenment is. So how we can all talk about ideas which we are agree that statistically maybe it's not existing at all. But we deeply believe it is there, waiting for us, like entity which we are invoking in Scrying. In the moment your vision will start to change, there will be no doubt that there is something in the books, no matter how difficult and wrong methods. The final solution, the final goal, meeting the miracle, meeting the spirit, it's there, and you will be changed. Not because that genie, that spirit from the lamp will give you a wish you want to obtain. No, the genie itself is a wish and miracle you need. Because if you invoke something that I'm talk to you and instruct you, and it starts to work, where is the limit? What about other things that I spoke to you, which are far greater than scrying or lucid dreaming? You will know that there is a way, scientifically improved way, you can not achieve enlightenment, you can meet enlightenment and talk to it. So maybe you will have a good friendship with that idea. Maybe you will not be so much good with it, but you can meet it. What will be after it, it is between you two. Scrying for me, it's a way, as I'm speaking, you are not using your physical eyes, because eyes can see everything but cannot see themselves. It is same with the scrying. You are using your physical eyes so you can get a scrying vision, but in the end you are not seeing anything which is outside your physical sense, physical optical eyes. You are looking deeply inside yourself, looking into your selfhood, like in a movie in which you are actor, director, critics and audience in the same time. It is much easier for me to speak this bullshit because when I speak slower, my English, I'm start to feel that I'm good in English. But no, don't. If I want to speed up, I will make a mistake. It is very important to me to speak this slowly so I can express myself in a right way. I hope you understand me what I'm speaking. Nevertheless, scrying with an entity will always give you a lesson. When the entity is before you appeared, first 20 times there is no way that you will sustain in the vision long enough so you can communicate with it. But you will be so changed that you can speak with it, and you will see that your voice, you don't have a voice in that realm, but you will see your voice, like in lucid dream, quite different. And it will be very hard for you to speak. Why? Because this place is not constructed for you to speak, but to listen and to take knowledge. Like in classroom, if I want to learn children, teach something children, I am the one who will speak. I cannot learn something while I'm speaking. Can I learn lucid dreaming while teaching you? No, you are the one who are learning while I am teaching. So scrying experience, it's not like lucid dreaming when you can interact so actively and precisely dualistic like in lucid dream experience, or in later you will see in body of the light astral projection. Scrying is there, you order your food, you have your meal on the table, enjoy. That's it. Of course, with time you can change the patterns and the way of the scrying, but if lucid dreaming is a circle, scrying is a line, is a vector, while the body of light is a ball. I'm using the ideas so you can see the difference in the essence of each experience. Scrying without purpose, without a wish to something to learn, will never happen. You can experience lucid dream simply because you fulfilled the paths, the steps. You will reach out. Of course, without action plan, you will not be able to sustain and be there for maybe 1 minute, but you will be there. With scrying, with desire, which is so dangerous in lucid dreaming, desire to get knowledge in scrying is crucial to have vision at all. Without it, there is hard that the blackness, you will reach the blackness and you will see how wonderful it is. It will be like 4-dimensional Google. Everything around you sprinkling with energy. You will lose the body, you lose the eyes, but there will be nothing more than that. Readiness and openness for you to learn and to be taught is the priority, essential motivation in scrying. There is no research in scrying as much as learning, as examination of something you are not aware. So, if you want to be brave in scrying, you don't need to invoke the God who is brave, because he is brave, you are not. You will get a vision which will inflict a fear in you so you can overcome it. You will never have a positive outcomes because you cannot reach it in a snap. You will get experience which you need to pass. Experience of scryings are very specific. Sometimes they are apocalyptic, dangerous, sadistic, violence, everything which your nature sometimes needs. There is specific kind of scrying visions which are called Enochian visions, which sometimes I'm doing the webinar, which are completely different mechanism. One of the most wonderful type of visions at all. And there is something to be said about them, how they are constructed and how you can control it. But that is a totally different part. I wanted to speak about it, but I think I will need maybe 2 days, and there is no way that we have such time. Maybe in the future, from time to time, I'm doing this kind of webinar so I can show you the Enochian invocations, how it is in practical, what's the catch and what is the mechanism. You see, myself that always wanted to see what's the catch of the movie, who is the killer, what's the motive. I don't care about the quality of acting. I want the story. I want to understand the core mechanism of that clock, how it. I don't need to know what time it is. I want to know how the clock is working. For me, that is essential, and that is something that I want to share with you. When you are receiving vision from entity, from whatever, you need to follow whatever it tells you. Of course, not to do if he tells you to jump from the cliff. Of course not. But his words are exactly what you need. As soon as you finish your scrying experience, no matter how you're convinced that you will remember it, it is the same like in dreaming. Every seconds after your returning, experience will be more and more distant and far away. If you maybe skip a day, so tomorrow you can write about it, you will see how pale it is, and without any possibility to learn what was been talking to you. There is a special way without guidance when you want to explore the realms of elemental worlds: earth, water, fire, and air. Everything that you need is simply either to call the divine name of the plane itself. You can find it on the internet, the divine name from earth. You can use it, the ritual of pentagram, using the names for archangels. So you can, there is no rule. It is very important just to speak the essence of the land, the part of your brain. It is like the Google. If you want to find, I don't know, the Mount Everest, how it is long, then you will type Mount Everest, and automatically the height of the Mount Everest will be shown. There is people who will use a much more precise instructions: Mount Everest, height, and the question mark, and Google will give you more precisely what you want. So the method of scrying, it's like method of Googling. You will see the various types of people. My father simply cannot use Google. He simply don't realize that algorithm use his words differently than he wants. He think that there is a people in Google who will react to his words, and he want to put so much words. You know, fishing, I want to buy a fishing net, and that net needs to be green and big. Imagining that there is a people in Google who will really listen to his instructions, so he can give the pictures of. And when he saw that nothing is on the Googles, he say, "Oh, Google is stupid. Simply, it's stupid thing." He simply don't know how to Google it. Scrying is the same. Don't use too much words. Be precise. What you want to invoke. Why do you want to invoke? What is your goal? Do you want to overcome something? to be more awake or something, to have something which you never had in the first place, or maybe to drop something. Maybe you have some habit you need to drop off. You have it so much that you need to have it more, to help with the guidance of some energy to cure your complex. Maybe you have tics. You know the people who doing this? The scrying, it's a way you can talk with your complex, with your tics, because this neurosis can be transformed into a being, so you can talk with him. Ask him, why do you do this? He can answer and show you something from the childhood, which in first place you didn't know what it is, but then you will remember it's some fear, which feared you so much that you in that time start to blink. I'm not saying that it is a cure, but it is a path to the cureness. You can play with it, you can explore it. There is one very special, very special way of meeting your shadow in a scrying form. Invoke your own demon, invoke everything which is evil in you, but you are not admitted because you cannot see yourself outside of yourself. Meet yourself in a worst form, so you can see how horrible you are, no matter how much you think you are magnificent and the best in this world. But let us see how awful you are and how your loved ones experience your hate, your jealousy, your hatefulness. I don't know what you have or what you are not aware that you have. Meet yourself and talk with that person and tell me, is that a nice conversation or not? You will see that most of this kind of entity was disturbing. How much you are able to accept yourself in that moment. The scrying, it's a perfect way of psychotherapy in three-dimensional world. You don't need a psychotherapist. You are in the one place the psychotherapist, and in the other you are the one who need the psychotherapist. So you will have both of them in conversation. Try to use it for your own good. Ask guidance, invoke angels, not to speak about the future. Ask them about yourself, to show something which you are not aware, to show what is the lesson of the past life that you didn't take into this form, which you wasted in oblivion and now need a light of memory so you can realize it again. Ask not about the previous lives, maybe previous day. Maybe you are all time very hateful and you need to calm down, to see yourself outside of yourself, to ask why you are so hateful. Let yourself talk to you why it is so hateful. Do you need a love? What do you need? Money? Why? What do you want with money? Yourself will tell you in much better words what you need and what you should have than you think inside of your own mind. Sometimes when you think that you are satisfied, you are not satisfied at all. And contrary, when you think that you are in misery, you have all the joy of this world, but you are not ready to accept that. Use it as a psychological plane for psychotherapy, and I'm guarantee your life will start to resemble with totally different light. For the last part, for the scrying, it is very good thing. Try to speak with dead ones, but not with what you are expecting to have with them, because always is something needing more. No matter how you fare well with the loving ones, there is something more that you need to tell them. Always. This is not the case with scrying. You are invoking the part of yourself who was hurt in that time. So you need to talk with that part of your mind, in which way it can be healed. So maybe you need to do something else, so the energy which is always full of pain, anger, or sorrow, which is the three sisters from hell. Some of them are dominant. Sometimes it's so much sorrow. Sometimes it's a fear. Most of it is a hate. Always. Losing somebody, no matter if you are blamed or somebody else, the hate, it's always upon it. Fear and sorrow pass and goes, but hate always stays. Talk with that hate. See, why do you need again somebody who is past? Because of him or because of you? So why? So you can bring him good, or so you can continue to push him and doing him something wrong? You need that, not because you will invoke energy which is dead. No, you cannot do that, because in that way you will be God. No, you are just invoking your own energy who is blocked somewhere there in the past, so you can see to, how to say in English, to when you have electricity you need to get to the ground, so like thunders, to connect it with the ground so it can pass electricity, not to stay. You need that. You need that. And believe me, there is no more joy than when you, in scrying from so ordinary talk, you find a clue which can change your life forever. And that kind of clues are everywhere. In all kind of darkness which I speak, which you saw, all that lights, colors, have a hidden clue. And all lights have same ending, in fact. And that ending, it's what we are calling Holy Guardian Angel, or enlightenment. All impressions, all hopes, all expectation of yours, even your own selfhood, when it looks in the mirror, give one and the same impression. And that is impression of you, how you felt about you. But you are not able to rationalize it, because you cannot see yourself. Everybody can see yourself, but you are not able. Scrying is a method, so you can just bring one fantastic camera. With the help of that camera, you can talk finally with yourself, outside of yourself, without any subjectivity, without any mists, filters and everything. You will be there right before the truth. Sometimes it can be painful, and it will be painful. And it should be painful, because you deserve that kind of pain. You need to pass that. Don't turn off from that kind of experience just because you felt fear or trouble. That is a good sign. Always good sign in spiritual life. When something is going to be nice and easy, watch about it. Something is not good. Every crucial enlightenment and understanding is usually about errors, not about the good things. Good things you are doing, you are not even able to know that they are good. But when you are doing something which is wrong, and you know that is wrong, but you are not able to stop because you are pleasant to doing wrong and hurtful things toward others. It's something which for you need to be rationalized, to put objectively before you, so you can dismiss it exactly like the blackness of your eyes. When you open your eyes, it will disappear. It will be there, but you will not longer see it because the light will fill that blackness. This is everything that I need to speak about scrying. There is a billions or more tips, but I don't want to speak because I will inflict your working. For those who want to continue, you have my emails, we can talk infinitely. But now, for this moment, the mechanism of later, something which will grow, it's totally different than in the beginning. And I don't want to crush, especially in the scrying, the beginning of getting the visions and the later when you start to exploring the realms are totally contradictory. And sometimes when I tell, in the beginning, when I told the both things, I saw the students have problems. I don't think there is need for that, because if you follow everything that I speak, we are in the touch, you can simply see with your own eyes. The rest, we need to finish the body of light technique and astral projection, which, as you remember, I said in the beginning of today's work, there is no chance for me with my English to speak about. So I suggest, if you want, next Sunday, same time, to speak about, it will not be too much. It will be maybe hour and a half, 2 hours maximum. So I can speak about the third aggregate state of learning how to do this, which is awake astral projection, combination of lucid dreaming and scrying, which is also very simple, but need to have a lots of tricks and tips how not to do the wrong things. And you will see how in books are totally written in a form that you will never have it. Nor nobody that I know that follow that rules, even I, simply you will for all life repeat that techniques without any chance of success. So if you are agree, next Sunday, the same time, it will be short. For those who are not able or don't want, because the plan was 4 weeks, I'm sorry, I didn't have enough experience in my English and enough strength to talk so much, so I can put everything. I could do that, but you see, I will miss an important point. So that's it. Next Sunday, the same time. For those who cannot be able to listen, I will record everything so you can relax and watch offline. Next Sunday, the ending of astral projection and awake method of stepping out of the body. Have a good day and see you next Sunday. Love you very much. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.